Hey everybody, this is Brian back with Inspiring How You See That. We're the channel that talks about all different kinds of music and entertainment and interviews some of your favorite artists. And today I have a very special guest. I have Lee Jennings from the Funeral Portrait. Lee, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we're here in Cleveland, Ohio, and we're right in the middle of your tour.
Yes.
So how long have you been on this tour?
Well, first we're here at the Cream Wall.
The beautiful
the
Cream Wall.
Yeah, while we were checking everything, I decided to interview the Cream Wall, and I found out that he's been here for a very long time.
Yeah, we're going to splice that in. And actually, some breaking news. That's going to be the name of their next album.
Yep, it's the Funeral Portrait presents the Cream Wall.
Might even be a film with that.
I think so too.
That would be.
Yeah.
That's
Yep. Hopefully Pink Floyd doesn't.
Pink Floyd move over.
Yeah, exactly. Pink Floyd. Yeah.
Awesome. So how long have you been on this tour, Lee?
Oh my God, it feels like forever because basically we started one tour that was like a few headlining dates, and then that was like a week of shows, and then we did a whole other tour for a whole month, and then we did all of these Palisades dates added on the back end. So we've been on tour for 2.5 months.
Oh wow.
So, and we've got 7 more dates left.
Okay. Then you go home to Georgia, right?
Yes, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia.
That's gotta be nice to get back home after a while on the road.
It would be nice. So it's weird because like we kind of went all the way out to the West Coast.
Okay.
Then made our way to the East Coast, had a show in Atlanta, then went all the way back to the West Coast, then all the way back to the East Coast, and had about like 4 days off in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Just to chill. I literally did nothing.
And it was glorious.
It felt great. It felt insane. So, because like, I don't know, man, I've spent 2 years off, right? So that's like kind of crazy to us to just jump right back in, and now we're like, oh, here's 2.5 whole months of shows, and live in the van. And I'm used to my like purple mattress, living life, sitting on this almost thing that feels like a waterbed, like, and now I have to go sleep in this bumpy van.
Man.
Yeah. So, but it felt great. It felt great. But
nice.
Dude, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. This is what we want to do. And I'll if I had to trade my purple mattress up any day for this life, especially over the last 2 years, it has really shown me that the home life thing, I love it, and I love my family, I love my partner, I love my dog, I love all that shit. But the van.
Yeah.
It's the van.
It's the life.
It's the van.
Yep.
The van. It takes us everywhere.
It's your home away from home.
It is. Sometimes it is the home. So, yeah.
Nice. Now, notice, and as I was going through your music, which is phenomenal, we're going to put some of it up behind us. You guys got to check them out. As I was listening, I was hit by, you reminded me a mix of My Chemical Romance and Adelitas Way.
Ooh, I'll take that. That's sick, though. That's cool because that's actually kind of something that we especially our newer stuff, and a lot of stuff that we're going to be playing, or we have been playing on this tour, ever since basically COVID, our hiatus after COVID, I guess. Our time now, after touring has returned, we've been playing a lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of the vibe of the new music is like the more 2000s, mid 2000s, early 2000s emo core kind of stuff. So your My Chem, your Take It Back Sunday, your Saves the Day, Say Anything, stuff like that I grew up loving. Alkaline Trio, even old stuff like Misfits and The Promise Ring and stuff like that. And then splash in the more quote active rock stuff, right? So you do have your Adelitas Way in there. You have a lot of 3 Days Grace. You have a lot of even new Motionless and White, Ice Nine Kills. Even though those are not really your active rock bands, but they're getting the active rock spin now, and they're getting played on Octane. They're getting played on Terrestrial, and for us Shinedown and stuff like that.
I was actually going to say one song you sounded like Brent Smith on one song.
It was probably Holy Water. We did that a lot, and it was. Listen, I get that so much, and it's sick.
There's nothing wrong with
that.
There's
nothing, because he has an insane voice, So the whole thing with Holy Water, too, man, for us, we were in the middle of writing. This was before we signed to a label, all this stuff. We were in the middle of writing and being like, what are we doing? Like, what do we want to do?
Yeah.
And we were like, let's just write about 3 or 4 songs that sound completely different and see what is the funeral portrait. You know, let's see what fits and what fits for my voice.
Yeah.
What fits for what we want to do for the rest of our lives. Or technically, what it could be, you know, the rest of our lives. And Holy Water was one of the 3 songs. It was Flowers in the Attic, which is out, Paper Mache Man, that is out, and then Holy Water, which is out as well. And all 3 of those sound really completely different.
Yeah.
Like one's super punky, one's kind of like post-rock, kind of Muse-ish, you know? And then you have your Shinedown-y active rock song as in Holy Water. And so for us, and they all have a dark twist on it, which is like the My Kim take, you know, the more emo take. So for us, having that, I think Holy Water is definitely the most successful song. You know, and for us, we were like, let's take it and run with it.
Okay.
And so that's what the new record has, that vibe to it, where it still is emo influenced active rock music.
Gotcha.
And that's the vibe. That's like what we want to do.
Yeah, and you can feel that. You know, you go from song to song, and it goes from kind of the punk to more of the hard rock feel, and back and forth. And I like that because it's not stagnant.
No, and that's the music that I even listen to, which even includes like Shinedown and stuff.
Yeah.
You pop in a Shinedown record, and one song's a piano ballad,
right?
And the next is this like insane guitar riff that's riffing, and you're just like melting your face off, and it's like, come on, man. And I wish more bands did stuff like that.
I agree.
And that's something that our record definitely has.
Nice.
You know? It definitely has the flow of the ups and downs.
Okay. And I noticed you haven't shied away from tackling and doing some covers of some pretty big songs.
Yeah.
And of course, My Chemical Romance, you did Helena.
Yes, we did.
And what I loved is you really slowed that down and made that, for lack of a better term, more beautifully creepy.
Yes. Well, that was the whole idea. Because it's one of those bands, because like for me, I'm not huge into covers per se, and especially of bands that I like grew up loving, and I don't want to be, we never want to be pandering. We never want to be like, oh, this band sounds like My Chemical Romance, so you need to do a My Chemical Romance cover. You know, it's like quote rap rock bands doing Linkin Park covers.
Exactly.
Right? Dude, we get it. Y'all love Linkin Park.
You're the 2000th band doing it.
Yes, and I'm no shade in that. Listen, there's no shade in that because there's been some awesome bands like From Ashes to New has crushed it. Palisades did one. Crushed it, dude. And it's great to see those bands, but for me, I did not want to be that band that you guys sound like My Chem, you could cover my band. But we got the opportunity.
Pigeonholed in.
Yes. And so we got the opportunity to do it for a like compilation to celebrate. I think it was 15 years of 3 Cheers, and the proceeds of the record go to fight suicide awareness.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And that's the only reason why we did it, because I was like, I'm not gonna make a cent off of this. I don't want any of that. You know. And so that's our portion, because of course some of it goes to My Chem and the writers and stuff like that. But for us, for my portion, I was like, we're not taking it. And we wanted to do something different. We also didn't want it to really sound like the funeral portrait does it. We wanted it to just be this like more chill, different version, and then it explodes at the end. You know,
nice.
It was something a little different.
I love how you did it. I mean, that was a really cool take. And then of course, when you did, sorry, my mind just went blank.
No, you're fine.
The Tears for Fears.
Yes, Mad World.
Yes.
No,
and you went opposite. You made that heavier and harder.
Yeah.
It reminded me, I don't know if you've heard Smash Into Pieces cover of Mad World.
Yes.
It reminded me very much of that.
Yeah, so that was like weird because like for us, we were thinking of songs because this was during COVID, like the lockdown, and we were like, everyone's doing covers. What do we do? And you know,
you don't want to be forgotten during that.
We don't. and we couldn't at the time. We were in the middle of recording and writing our record.
Sure.
So I was like, we can't release a brand new song, right? And we had just released Holy Water not too long ago, so like doing a better version of it wasn't going to happen. Like we needed a minute. So we were thinking of songs to cover, and I had always I got into Mad World actually from that movie Donnie Darko.
The Gary Jules version.
Yes, the Gary Jules version, which is
much better than the original.
Yes, and I love Tears for Fears too. But I think the Gary Jules version is just like so. Yeah. And for me, I grew up loving Donnie Darko and just the vibe of that time of life for me, like the 2004, 2005, 2006 was so I mean, that's when I went to like high school, you know, that
Yeah.
ages me. So listen there, okay? That ages me. Okay?
I'm older, so don't worry.
It puts me in an age bracket here, okay? But for me, that's what I grew up on. And so
Sure.
when we were talking about covers, we thought of The Cure, we thought of, and we toyed with a lot of stuff. But I think Mad World was one that I was like, especially during the time that it was.
Yeah.
I mean, we were at this such a huge turning point for the United States and for everything that was going on. And we were just like, the whole world, literally, you know, this massive thing was happening.
Yeah.
And we were like, it is a madhouse out there. So you know what song we're covering? You know, so
Yeah,
we were
why
just
not?
like,
Let's
yeah. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that we were thinking, you know, hey, it would be cool to do this and maybe we'll like actually release it because right now it's just up on YouTube.
Okay.
And like I think Facebook and Instagram because we didn't even like really release it.
Yeah.
Because that we had just signed to Better Noise, which was, you know, this thing and they were like, yeah, we don't want your first thing to be like we don't want your first thing out of the gate being a cover.
Gotcha.
You know, we want it to be this original music that y'all are capable of doing.
Sure.
You know, so and I agreed. So that's why we just released it kind of on just YouTube and was just like, here's something to do. So I want to play it live though. I do.
That would be cool.
We were thinking about toying with it maybe on
That
the
would be
next
cool.
tour, so.
You know, that's one of my favorite songs. You know, where I first heard it, I remember was on the Gears of War commercial.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they played it on
Yep.
that. So tell me about maybe what is the biggest hurdle you guys have had to overcome to get where you are today?
I think the biggest one is what most bands have to deal with, which is fighting the power to give up, right?
Okay.
Because the light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because especially, you know, I started this band, I'm the only original member. I started this band in 2014. We signed a really crappy deal with a crappy label that took advantage of us because we were young.
Yep.
And we got screwed. Where it was like, hey, sign this, not knowing what we were signing, not knowing who
Just
we were
excited
signing
to be,
with.
yeah.
Yes. And then we finally get off that label, and we were Freedom, right? Freedom with at least a little bit of fans, right? So
Sure.
we had a little bit of a following from the tours that we did, and stuff like that. But it wasn't what we wanted still.
Sure.
You know, we knew that something bigger was out there and we wanted that. So we started writing and recording and producing our own stuff and working with a few friends and just being like, okay, what's our sound and what's our thing, you know? And it's still not giving up and still just pushing and pushing. And I think the biggest hurdle, again, it's just not, you know, we've done tours. I mean, we literally just got off a tour that the headlining band and I was absolutely mean to us, literally made us want to go home every single day.
Yeah.
And I don't care about even talking with you about it because I don't care, because what he did was just stuff that someone shouldn't do.
Right.
And especially when we're playing like 5-6 people a night in towns that we've never played.
Yeah.
But this guy is like headlined multiple times. It makes you want to go home.
Yeah.
It makes you not want to do this ever again.
Yeah.
But
Makes you think it's all like that.
It's all like that,
Yep.
right? And so for us, we keep telling ourselves that we're doing this for a reason, and we're doing this because not only do we love it, but the people that we get to meet, the awesome people that we get to meet, and
Thank you.
and you know, there's people. There's a few kids in line here, you know, and stuff, and that are like excited to see us and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's such a weird feeling, but that's what keeps it going.
Sure.
That's that light that we can see way over there, and for us, it's about that next step. And I think it's the hurdles, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I tell every band, I look up to one band extremely more than almost anybody, especially on the business side, and that's Ice Nine Kills.
Okay.
Because I used to do,
And it took them forever to break
that's
through.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man. Dude, Spencer never gave up.
Yep.
He's been through so many members. He's been through everything that anybody could ever go through. And I remember I booked, because I used to run a club in Atlanta, and literally I booked them and 2 kids came out.
Yeah.
You know, and I gave them, I was like, hey man, I got a little Caesar's pizza for you. That's all I got. Sorry, dude. You know, it was a door deal. Here's your $5.
But he would grind.
And he would, and
Yep.
he kept going and kept going, and now look at them. They literally are about to do like massive arenas.
Yep.
You know, they're about to go out with.
Well, they're with Metallica.
Yes, they're playing shows with the Metallica. Can we just take a second here and just think about Iceland Kills literally just 4 years ago, even 5 years ago, six. Okay, let's be honest. 6 years ago, would you have ever? I'm asking y'all right here. Okay, would y'all ever expect Iceland Kills 6 years ago to be going on tour with Metallica? Come on, man. And that's because he never gave up.
Exactly.
And that's
so you guys could be with Shinedown.
Yes, and one day hopefully we will be. You know, and that's what we want, though.
Yeah.
And I think that's the light that we all see, and we all believe it. And Spencer is one of those guys that always believed it from the beginning. And I think, and that's something I tell every band that I talk to, you know, younger bands and people that ask me that, and I'm like, listen, man, you just can't give up. And you know, of course, luck, and of course, being talented. But
absolutely.
But as long as you believe, it will work. It will work in some capacity. It will work.
So keep at it.
Yes.
No matter what.
Like it does. Like for real.
And before we go, I wanted Lee to go back to something you had mentioned earlier.
Cool.
Which was, you know, you did that song for suicide prevention. So has that always been something that's near and dear to your heart?
Yeah. So it's weird because it's hard because I grew up big. I've literally been over 6 feet tall since like 5th grade.
Okay.
So I was that kid that was literally like this tall and in 5th grade.
Right.
You know what I mean? Going into middle school and everybody's literally this height. And I'm just like, I got made fun of.
Yeah.
I got picked on. I even one day I had to change because, you know, of at PE, right? So in the locker room, it was like 6th or 7th grade. I go in there and I have to wait until every kid's out. Well, I thought every kid was out because I didn't like my body, of course, right? And so I waited till every kid was out. And I thought, well, one kid waited for me around the corner and literally sprayed me in the eyes with Axe deodorant because he thought it was funny and the other kids watched, right? And for me, I didn't want to continue on at such a young age, and that was so sad. And it was sad for my family, for my mom, for my grandparents, you know, and for my family that was so close, and it stuck with me for so long.
Sure.
And that is the one thing that I fight for every single night is individuality, being who you are, no matter what anybody says, and just keep on going. And that's something that I'll fight every single day. And that's the stories of how I was treated. You know, I am very lucky. I had an incredible family. I have incredible family. There's so many young kids out there that do not. Yeah. You know, and I am fighting especially for them, and especially for the people even my age or your age that don't even have that now. Yeah. You know, and there's so many, and that's why like I fight for the people that don't have that voice, you know, or can't find it yet. You know, and that's what music did for me, though. Sure. And that's why I turned to music, and that was My Chemical Romance for me. That was Alkaline Trio. That was Misfits. That was AFI. That was all of those bands. Good Charlotte. You know, all those bands. That was those bands for me. Yeah. Was I would put on my headphones. You know, put on my CD. Yes, you know, CD at the time. Eventually iPod.
Kids are like, what is that?
Yeah. Eventually an iPod. I know it's not an iPhone. Yes, you know.
I still use my iPod.
Dude, I'm jealous. Mine died about 3 years ago. So
I love it.
Sucks. They stopped making them.
I saw it just like a couple months ago.
You can find them on eBay for okay money. So I want to get a new one.
iPod. That's the way to go.
It is because you don't have to be connected to the internet.
True.
You don't have to be, you know. So.
And then you're not using up all your space on your phone.
Exactly.
So.
Yes, to answer your question, that's definitely, you know,
that's fantastic.
That's it. That's the funeral portrait.
Nice. We want to thank you for that. We appreciate what you do for that.
Of course.
And Lee, before we go, where can fans follow you guys online at?
Literally, just go to google.com, go in the search bar, and type in The Funeral Portrait. You might need to do like band after it, because if not, you might get some like funeral homes.
I did get some of that.
Yeah, some funeral homes, because we're not there yet. There's also that band Opeth. They have the song The Funeral Portrait, which was just like this thing, and but it's pretty easy to find. You'll find the green-haired dude, you know, probably doing this. So
nice. Is there anything else you'd like to say to fans before we go?
Hey, we got a new record coming out. It's gonna be on Better Noise Music. First single comes out late this fall or early this fall. We'll see. Lots of touring, lots of everything, and I'm we're back, baby. Let's do this.
Heck
You know.
yeah. We'll be sure to let you guys know when everything's coming out. We'll share it with you. And Lee, thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And as always, thank you guys for spending this time with us. We love you all. God bless, and rock on.